And our final coach this morning, we adjusted the schedule. He's kind of nice because he's headlining the game Saturday with nationally ranked Liberty, hosting nationally ranked Montana. The head coach of the Liberty Flames, Gill. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, Mark.
Hope you're doing well. If you can open up, talk about the game at West Virginia. It didn't go, obviously, the way we wanted to, but still the effort by the Flames, and then we'll start taking questions and talking about the Grizzlies.
Well, I thought, our guys played hard. West Virginia was, no doubt, the better football team, and just early on there, we didn't execute as well on offense as I had hoped for. We had a 4th and 1 there and had a chance to convert and drop the ball there in that nature and on a pitch play. But then unfortunately, John Lunsford didn't have one of his better days. He missed 3 field goals there early in the game, so that kind of hurt some of the opportunity, put some points on the board. But we, finished the 3rd and 4th quarter better than expected. And so again, West Virginia's a good football team, and I wish them the best of luck as they move forward. So our team will rebound, and we'll be ready to go this week.
All right, Coach, so this time we'll start taking questions for Turner Gill. For those on the call, please press star 1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser, and click raise hand if you join us via the web. And while those questions come in, Coach, talk about Saturday's opponent, Montana, coming into Lynchburg.
Well, Montana is obviously a well-respected, excellent football team. They play very good football. They got a new head football coach there, Bob Stitt there. Knew of him a little bit there in Nebraska, small college, Doane College there, and just outside of Lincoln. So his name is known there in the state of Nebraska, and a great offensive mind. Does a lot of great things. They've already are doing some great things there offensively, as they are averaging over 500 yards of offense, going for almost 400 yards a game. So they're moving the ball, and they're doing some great things there already in the first 2 or 3 ball games. And so they got a very good quarterback, and that's 6'6", 6'7" guy, and can throw the football all over the place. And they got 2 talented receivers. And defensively, they got a lot of starters back. I think they got 8, 9 guys that are seniors on their team on the defensive side of the ball. They got a transfer safety from Arizona. So they got a very good football team on all sides of it, very sound, and we're going to play our best football game that we've ever played.
All right, Coach, we'll start taking questions for you. Our first person is a media member from Montana. I don't have a name, but you better the question queue, so just introduce yourself before your question, Coach.
Hey, Coach, this is AJ Mazzolini from Julian. How's it going this morning?
All right, AJ, doing well.
Good, doing well as well. Hey, so you mentioned, the offense that Montana has. Honestly, it's a work in progress over here, but a very high-powered kind of offense. How do you see your defense matching up against that and the speed that the Grizzlies like to play at?
I don't know. That's what we're doing now, trying to figure it out. So when you got 500 yards of offense going, man, that's a tremendous challenge. So we're still got some time. Luckily, we got some time to figure that all out. We just hopefully that we can tackle well is probably obviously the number one thing, and don't give up big plays. I think those 2 things are going to be very, very important for us to give us the best chance to be able to be successful.
And do you think the pass rush is going to be an important factor in this game as well?
Well, obviously, pass rush is always going to be a thing. We always got to make sure we stop the run. Don't ever let them get that going. They got a good running back that makes things happen. I know they're going to throw the ball majority of the times, but they still able to run the ball. So we got to stop the run, and we got to be able to put some pressure on them and make him do some things that are maybe uncomfortable for him. Whether we able to do that with a 4-man rush, I don't know. Whether we do it 5-man rush or 6-man or whatever, but we do have to get him off his line there where he gets a little bit uncomfortable.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I believe we still have another member of the Montana media who would like to ask questions of Coach Gill. Don't have a name, so please proceed with your introduce yourself and proceed with your questions.
Turner, I'm Scott Manch, the sports editor in Great Falls, Montana. It's a pleasure to talk to you, Coach.
All right, Scott. Good talking to you too.
I want to ask you a few things. I know, of course, your great history of working with fantastic quarterbacks with the Huskers, and I want to ask you about your fine quarterback there, and what are his attributes, and how does he rank in the quarterbacks you coach?
Well, Josh Woodrum, I've just been blessed and fortunate to have a chance to teach, coach, and treat him like he's my own son, as I do all of my players. But he is a great, I'm going to say, great mind of the game, a fierce competitor, accurate passer, can make all the throws, whether deep, short, long, whatever, intermediate. So I really love what he's all about, and I'm praying and hopefully that he'll have a chance at the next level. I think he has that kind of capabilities. He's shown that both mentally and physically, and he has that intangibles of a little bit of an it factor, just being able to make plays and do whatever he needs to do to help his team be successful. So we're glad he's on our side, and he's continued to play well. Had a really good football game against West Virginia, and unfortunately we had about 3 drop balls there, would have made it even better in the game. So he's starting out the season doing pretty good.
You wouldn't say he's better than Tommy Frazier, though?
Well, they're a different quarterback. I'm going to start with that. I mean, Tommy's more of the runner type and could throw, but he was more the runner in that way. But now, I think they're equal in fierce competitiveness. Tommy was the fiercest competitor I had been around, and Josh is not that far behind as far as that goes. He loves to compete.
Turner, you alluded to Bob Stitt, who grew up, I believe, in Tecumseh and was in high school when you were playing way back in the day. And I wonder, Coach, if there's a couple things you could tell me about that you took from your days with Coach Osborne, and what are the main things you think you learned from him?
Well, I think, that's a whole lot of things. I want to pick 1 or 2 things. I think 1 or 2 things that I really have taken from Tom Osborne is really probably the biggest thing is being able to teach and develop your staff and your players and let them know their value every day. Show the appreciation of what their value is and why. I saw him show that to the people that worked for him, and he let them know their value. Again, I ain't going to sit there and say it was every day, but it seemed like it almost every day of letting everyone that worked within the department what they were all about. So I really try to do that on my daily basis. I saw that being advantageous because he said that carries over on the football team, but also carries over all the way to recruiting and everybody you come in contact with. Then the other thing was just being able to interact with his players and coaches from the spiritual side of it also. So those are the big 2 things that I've taken. Again, I can go on and on about it, but I'm going to say those are the 2 major things that I have taken from Coach Osborne.
Turner, Coach Stitt has a style of offense, probably similar to the Oregon Ducks the last few years. They want to run 90 to 100 plays. How do you combat that as a defense, or perhaps you try to match that yourself offensively?
Well, I think on the defensive side of the ball, hopefully you can have some 3 and out, but they're going to move the ball some. So hopefully there's maybe you can reduce to maybe 5 plays in a drive, and hopefully they're off the field and they're not touchdowns when you're off the field from a defensive perspective. So they're going to move the ball. We understand that. That's part of their offense. We got to make them kick field goals. That'll be the biggest thing that we need to do, and then we got to create turnovers. Then offensively, we got to score touchdowns, and we got to hold on to the ball, which that's kind of how we are anyway. We can be both explosive and we can be methodical. We want to be able to do both, and that's what our offense has to do. Like this last week against West Virginia, unfortunately, we kicked 4 or 5 field goals, and see, we cannot put ourselves in a situation in this ball game to be kicking field goals. We got to be scoring touchdowns.
Turner, I've been here a long time and seen a lot of great high school players in Montana. One came to Nebraska and played, a tight end named Mark Gilman from Kalispell, and I know you were there. I wonder if you have any recollections of what he offered to the Husker program.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, he tight end there, played very, very well. He was an outstanding player, and more important, was an outstanding person. And I'm glad I got a chance to know him, and I hope he's doing well. I hadn't heard too much about where he's at and what he's doing, but I know he was a good football player. He was a very good blocker, and he's also a very good receiver. So he's an all-around tight end.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions for you. So we'll go ahead and let you go. But appreciate your time this morning. Good luck Saturday against Montana. Again, that game 7 o'clock on ESPN3.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you, Coach. And that concludes our call today. My appreciation to the coaches and media joining us. Once again, a playback will be available later on BigSouthSports.com. Thanks again for everyone joining us. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you all next Tuesday.